Hey YouTube, Kira Twig here, bringing you all an update to my Blue Eyes White Dragon Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile for post the Blue Eyes White Destiny structure deck. We got a bunch of new support in the latest Yu-Gi-Oh structure deck, a very awesome lineup of support for all of the Blue Eyes fans out there, including the new Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon boss monster, a new Link monster, a new Xyz monster, and a bunch of new main deck cards that completely changes the lineup for the Blue Eyes deck as a whole. But for this first deck profile, I wanted to focus on what you could make with the majority of the structure deck. I know the Primite engine is a good engine to run with the deck as well, but it's not really an option that a lot of people will have access to. So for now, we'll stick to just the pure Blue Eyes variant. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So we'll go ahead and start off with the main deck for our Blue Eyes monsters. We are running the 3 copies of Blue Eyes White Dragon. I know that a lot of builds can probably run 2, and if you want to, you could run 2 copies of Blue Eyes now, but you know, I just feel like Seto Kaiba would really be ashamed if you only ran the 2 Blue Eyes. This is a Kaiba kind of themed deck, so you got to run 3 Blue Eyes in my opinion. If you want to drop one though, you can always increase the hand trap lineup or more of the generic spell lineup for 1 copy of Blue Eyes for this spot. But just the go-to main deck boss monster that is used to get out a good majority of our extra deck monsters. With the 3 ofs for our next one being the Maiden of White, which we're running 3 copies of. You can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard. Place 1 True Light from your hand, deck, or graveyard face up in your spell and trap card zone, which those of you don't know is the trap card True Light. So just being able to access this trap all the faster. If you special summon Blue Eyes White Dragon while this card's in your graveyard, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card. When a card effect is activated that targets this card on the field, or when this card is targeted for an attack, quick effect, you can special summon 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon or 1 level 1 Light Tuner from your graveyard. You can always each effect of Maiden of White once per turn, but it's such a better, consistent Maiden of Blue Eyes Evolve kind of card, giving you that search for your trap card, which can also just be then used to special summon your Blue Eyes from your hand or graveyard, and then in turn give you access to another monster on the field to then be able to use with the Blue Eyes on the field to then go into some of our tuner options as well. We're also running 3 copies of Neo Kaiser Seahorse. If you control Blue Eyes White Dragon, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can target 1 Light Tuner you control, increase or decrease its level by 1. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can send 1 Blue Eyes monster or 1 monster that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck to the graveyard, except Neo Kaiser Seahorse. You can always each effect of Neo Kaiser Seahorse once per turn, but the fact that you can adjust your other tuners gives you access to some of the bigger synchro options as well, being able to then reduce the level of this card on the field as well, and then making it a level 3. So then you can summon out your Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon, needing the 2 tuners and the 1 non-tuner Blue Eyes monster to do so. We also run 3 copies of Sage with Eyes of Blue. When this card is normal summon, you can add 1 level 1 Light Tuner from your deck to your hand, except Sage with Eyes of Blue. You can discard this card, target 1 effect monster you control, send it to the graveyard, and if you do special summon 1 Blue Eyes monster from your deck, you can use its effect of Sage with Eyes of Blue once per turn, but also being able to target our Maiden of White, obviously, with this card to then special summon another Blue Eyes on top of that. Just adds to the special summon play style a definite 3-of for this card as well, because it also can just be used to add the level 1 Light Tuner, being our Maiden of White, for this play as well. For the lower numbers for our Blue Eyes cards, we are also running the 1 copy of Blue Eyes Jet Dragon for the added send power of our Kaiser Seahorse to set this card up to be special summoned back onto the field. The 1 Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon for the added reveal and special summon of another Blue Eyes monster onto the field, and then the 1 Blue Eyes Abyss Dragon to special summon and add the added setup of this card or a level 8 or higher dragon monster from our deck to our hand is the main reason we'll use for this search for this last bigger Blue Eyes boss monster. Some other cards that we also run the 1 copy of Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon, and the 1 copy of Masters with Eyes of Blue. The Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon can actually be summoned off of the Majesty of White Dragon's new trap card that we have, so being able to summon this card out with that card, and added setup with Master of Eyes of Blue. When this card is normal summon, you can target 1 level 1 Light Tuner in your graveyard, add to your hand, so add back power for our Maiden of White as well, using this card, and also being able to make use of this card to be able to summon out our Link 1 Spirit with Eyes of Blue monster onto the field also. And then lastly, for the main deck monsters, I run 3 copies of Effect Veiler and 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. Hand trap lineup to run with everything else, plus these cards are in the structure decks, so the most available hand traps that you'll have, along with Infinite Impermanence to use if you're building this deck with the majority of cards from the structure deck also. For the spells, we run 3 copies of Wishes for Eyes of Blue. You discard 1 card, add 1 level 1 Light Tuner and 1 spell or trap that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck to your hand, except for Wishes for Eyes of Blue. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon you control. Equip 1 Blue Eyes monster from your extra deck to it as an equip spell. That gives it 400 attack. You can only use each effect of Eyes, Wishes of Eyes for Blue once per turn, but it's added search power, just more of a guarantee for what you want to add, the level 1 Light Tuner, and the 1 spell or trap that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon. So a good variety of the other cards for us to add with this card. One of them being Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragons. You special summon in defense 1 Blue Eyes monster from your deck or graveyard or banishment, but if you control no Blue Eyes White Dragon, you can only special summon Blue Eyes White Dragon with this effect. And also, you cannot special summon from the X deck for the rest of this turn, except for dragon monsters. And you can banish this card from your graveyard to fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your X deck using monster from your hand or field, including Blue Eyes monsters. So being able to use this card to also potentially get back our banished Blue Eyes cards sets up the use of this card to also then go into our Blue Eyes fusion monsters that we can make as well, thanks to this card. The 1 copy of Mausoleum of the White. So this card is basically just a one of, because it gives you a normal summon addition for your level 1 Light Tuner, but it can also be summoned and set up with our Spirit with Eyes of Blue Link monster as well. So you only need the 1 copy, and being able to target a face-up monster you control, send 1 normal monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard. If you do, the target monster gains attack or defense equal to that monster. So another target option, and also being able to set up a Blue Eyes White Dragon in our graveyard to use as well. 2 copies of Bingo Machine Go. Now this can be another hand trap spot if you wish. If you have the Mold Charmy engine and you wish to run it, you can always replace this as one of those spots, along with 1 of your Blue Eyes copies for 1 additional hand trap spot in the deck. Otherwise, it's just another search for some specifics for the Blue Eyes cards you run in the deck. The 2 copies of Ultimate Fusion, just as a quick play option for our fusion spell as well, along with the 1 copy of Synchro Rumble as a way to special summon back our level 8 Dragon Synchro monster in our graveyard as an added resource, the level 7 or 8 Dragon Synchro, which we do run a variety of them in the deck as well for the added summon and use of those monsters. So being able to summon them back onto the field for use with this card is a big help for sure, along with the 1 copy of Call by the Grave to finish off these spells in the deck. And for the traps, 1 copy of the Majesty of White Dragons. You show up to 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons in your hand, face up monster zone in a graveyard, destroy an equal number of cards your opponent controls. You can banish this card from your graveyard to ritual summon 1 ritual monster from your hand by attributing Blue Eyes White Dragons from your hand or field, whose total levels equal its level. So this gives you access to your Blue Eyes Chaos Max as well, not having to use the Chaos form ritual to do so, just relying on a trap card. The 1 True Light, which can once again be set up wherever this card may be with our Maiden of White. And then lastly, the 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence, just along with the Ash Blossom and the Effect Veilers, another good needed trap card to use in the lineup. For the extra deck, we run 1 copy of Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon, needing the 2 tuners and the 1 non-tuner Blue Eyes monster. Your opponent cannot banish cards from your graveyard. You can only use each of the following effects of Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon once per turn. When a card or effect is activated on the field, quick effect, you can negate the activation. And if you do, this card gains 1,000 attack until the end of this turn. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 light dragon monster from your graveyard, except for Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon. So, in the form of this card, it is a true evolved form of the Blue Eyes Spirit Spirit Dragon being that much stronger of a card effect, and then just added setup using this card for sure. But we're still running Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, in fact 3 copies of this card, just for the added consistency, because if you can get Blue Eyes White Dragon on the field with how easy Maiden of White can be summoned, you can summon out this card. So then you always want to be sitting on Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon instead of just a normal Blue Eyes White Dragon on the field as well. So 3 copies of this card to make use of fully in the deck also. The 1 copy of Azure Eyes Silver Dragon, just as one other Synchro Tech that I do like to run in the deck. The 1 Bysteel Dispatter as another Synchro option to summon out using our Dragon monsters. The 1 Crimson Dragon, along with Crimson Dragon being able to summon out cards like Crystal Wings Synchro Dragon, along with Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon, and the Ancient Fairy Dragon to finish off the Synchro lineup. For the Xyz monsters, 1 copy of Indigo Eyes Silver Dragon. It cannot attack directly unless it has a normal monster as material. You can only use each of the following effects of Indigo Eyes Silver Dragon once per turn. If it's Xyz summon, you can negate the effects of all face-up cards your opponent currently controls, and you can detach 1 from this card to target a normal monster in your graveyard or banish and special summon it and gain 1,000 attack. So a 4,000 attack Xyz monster, making use of 2 level 8 Blue Eyes monsters to be able to overlay into this card. For our fusions, the 1 copy of Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon and the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. If you have Alternative Dragon, it can always be a spot to run in the fusion lineup as well. With the last of our lineup being our Link monsters, the 1 Spirit with Eyes of Blue. You cannot special summon except Dragon monster. You can only use it to the following effects of Spirit of Eyes of Blue once per turn. If it's Link summon, you can take 1 Mausoleum of White from your deck, either add to your hand or send it to the graveyard. And you contribute this card to special summon 1 Blue Eyes from your hand or graveyard. But if you special summon it, an effect monster from your graveyard this turn, it cannot attack and its effects are negated. So just being able to grab another Blue Eyes monster. And lastly, the 1 copy of Heretic Seal of Heavenly Spheres to be able to summon out a bounce back option and special summon card using just our Dragon monsters on the field as well. As for some of the go-to plays in the deck, we have the added setup with our Maiden of White and our Sage with Eyes of Blue being a very, very good setup altogether. You can normal summon out your Sage with Eyes of Blue using this card to then grab our Maiden of White, using her effect to send this card to place 1 True Light face up from your deck to the field. And then this gives you the special summon option, protection for your Blue Eyes White Dragons as well, but being able to make use of this card to special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand or graveyard. So then, with this card, you can special summon the Blue Eyes, whether it be searched from your hand or already in your hand. This will then activate the Maiden of White to special summon this card as well. So then, you can special summon this card out into the field, and then from there, you have your Synchro play using your 2 monsters as the needed play, as I mentioned before, to get out your Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. And then this play is very, very useful because then you have that added option if you special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon, because then you can use your True Light again, not on the same turn, obviously, but this special summon will give you a Blue Eyes White Dragon, and Maiden of White will always follow that Blue Eyes play, so then you'll always have the summon to then be able to get out another Spirit of White Dragon. That's why we run multiples of this card, so we always have that option available. If we go for one of the other setup plays, including our Neo Kaiser Seahorse, this card will come down to being able to special summon this card from your hand, targeting a light tuner we control, increase or decrease its level as well. So we have the same play as mentioned before. Let's say we have the Maiden as well for the send and setup. For the True Light, we use it to special summon out the Blue Eyes. Then this will summon out the Maiden. Then we can summon out the Neo Kaiser Seahorse from our hand since we control Blue Eyes White Dragon. Decrease its level by 1, and then you have the 3 monsters needed to make your bigger boss monster, the Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon. The other big plays come down to if you have the Maiden of White, and let's say you have the Sage with Eyes of Blue in your hand. You can use this card, discarding it to target an effect monster you control, send it to the graveyard to special summon 1 Blue Eyes monster from your deck. So then this will target the effect of Maiden of White as well. For this card, when an effect is activated, to special summon the Blue Eyes or level 1 Light Tuner from your graveyard. So you'll need that Blue Eyes monster in your graveyard as well. So if you have that added special summon play as well, depending on what you went for that special summon, you'll get the initial play of your Sage first to special summon out your Blue Eyes monster. This will then activate the Maiden of White for that added special summon as well, and then having the same synchro play to be able to go into your Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon as well. The other plays rely on, obviously, just the setup you can do with your one monster as well, relying on your Sage to give you that search. You can also use that monster to go into your Link 1 monster, setting up your Mausoleum on the field, and then from there having the initial play of your Mausoleum to also use this card to target face a monster and send that normal monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard. So then you can send the Blue Eyes, have it ready in the graveyard for you to use for the added special summon from the graveyard, using with your Maiden to special summon back onto the field. And this grabbing 2 Blue Eyes will also set up more of your Xyz play because you'll need those 2 level 8 monsters to do so. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. And Kira Twig out.